This is the third in a series of teachings about critical thinking based on readings from Nigel Warburton's Thinking from A to Z. Truth by consensus, taking statements to be true simply because they are generally agreed upon. This is not a reliable way of discovering the truth on most issues. Just because there is general agreement that something is true, it doesn't follow that it is true. For instance, in the 14th century, there was general consensus that the world was flat, but it doesn't follow from the fact that most people thought it was flat that it actually was flat. Only an extreme relativist about truth would want to maintain that. If the experts of the day believe something to be the case, this may make it likely that what they believe is true, or approaches the truth. However, it is not the fact that they believe it that makes it true. Rather, the truth of their belief depends on whether or not it matches up with the way the world is. Even if experts in a particular field happen to agree about something, it doesn't follow that what they agree about must be true. Though, if you are not an expert, it would be appropriate to treat the consensus view of experts very seriously. You can listen to my talk on truth by authority here. Okay, but when the people in agreement aren't experts, and some of them know very little about the matter in question, there is no good reason for treating their consensus as an indicator of truth. One reason why consensus isn't a reliable indicator of truth is that people are often very gullible. They are easily misled about all kinds of things, as any confidence trickster knows. What's more, most of us are prone to wishful thinking of various kinds. We believe what we wish were true, even if it doesn't match up to the facts, and sometimes even in the face of overwhelming evidence against our cherished beliefs. Where there is no consensus, an even less reliable method of determining the truth is to rely simply on majority opinion. On most important questions, the majority of people are ill-informed on what is at stake. It is surely better to rely on a minority of experts who have had time to study the available data rather than the hastily formed views of the majority. For instance, it may be that the majority of the world's population today believe that our destiny is completely determined by astrological considerations. But most of the people who believe this have such a sketchy knowledge of astronomy that their views are of little significance in determining whether or not the positions of the stars determine our behaviour. Consequently, when someone begins a sentence, "It is generally agreed that," or "most people believe that," or perhaps "as we all know," you should determine precisely what work is meant to be done by this phrase. Why does it matter what is generally agreed? Are we supposed to conclude that because most people believe something, then it must be true? Of course, it might be true, but if the reason for believing it to be true is because most other people believe it to be true, this is an unsatisfactory justification. It is important not to confuse this attack on the belief in truth by consensus or truth by majority opinion with an attack on democratic decision-making. The reason why democratic decision procedures are often preferable to other alternatives is not that they reliably give true answers to questions, but that they allow for equal participation of different interest groups and usually provide ways of minimizing the power of would-be tyrants. However, that's a debate in itself.